Hey, chiropractors, welcome to Modern Chiropractic Mastery with your host, Dr. Kevin Christie, where we discuss the latest in marketing, business, and professional growth with some of the leading experts in the industry. Welcome to another episode of Modern Chiropractic Mastery. Today, I'm bringing you a solo episode, and we're going to do a little riff on quarterly team meetings. But before I do that, excited, we started something new this year with some collaborators, with some other services or products that I use in my clinic, and then believe that it could be a good fit for you. And the first one I want to mention is Stop Pain, which has been cool. I've worked with them for quite a while. I've had their product in my office, and it's a great product for your patients to really help with the pain. Right? It uses 10% menthol, and it's really helpful for pain relief. It's got a cooling sensation that eases pain fast. It helps block the pain signals at the nerve level, and it enhances blood flow. So you can go to stoppainclinical.com, www.stoppainclinical.com, and support them. Really good for your clinic and can help your patients and your bottom line. So check that out. So let's talk about quarterly team meetings. As I record this, and it'll be released in March, in our coaching programs, we do quarterly planning. We do yearly planning for our members, and we do quarterly planning for our members. And it's a big part of what we do. And just not enough chiropractors are planning out their business, right? Everything from goals to marketing to financials. There's a lot that goes on as solving issues. And, we try to make sure we set the tone for our clients to have team meetings. And it does start with a yearly team meeting. We try to do that in December, early January. And then every quarter, right? So March is going to plan Q2, and then you'll, rinse and repeat. Basically have a meeting the month prior to the upcoming quarter. So Q2 is obviously going to be April, May, and June. And you want to plan, strategically for growth. Otherwise, it's not going to happen by just wanting it to. Chiropractors, if your website traffic or Google Maps visibility has felt a little unpredictable lately, you're not imagining it. A lot is changing behind the scenes. AI is reshaping how search results show up. Competition in the map pack is getting tougher, and simply ranking well does not always translate into new patients. That's why Propel Marketing and Design is hosting a free chiropractic SEO workshop. You'll learn what's actually changing with Google Maps, how AI is impacting the way patients find and choose clinics, and what small, realistic updates you can make this year to stay visible and competitive. This is not a high-level talk or a bunch of jargon. It's a practical step-by-step workshop built for busy clinic owners who want clear direction and next steps they can actually implement. Save your spot for free at propelyourcompany.com/MCM SEO workshop 2026. And we'll see you there. The first resource I want to give you is the book Traction. A lot of you have heard of that. Gino Wickman. Gino Wickman was actually on my podcast a year ago, January of 2025, I believe it was. But we talked about a different book he wrote called Shine. But he wrote the book Traction and developed the company EOS, or Entrepreneur Operating System. And they give you the free resources on their website as well on team meetings and level 10 meetings, quarterly meetings, yearly meetings, vision traction organizer, all their stuff. Really good. But I just start with the book, read the book Traction, and then it can help you with building out what your team meetings are. You need to have consistent meetings, a yearly meeting, quarterly meeting, a weekly team meeting. And I'm not going to dive too much into that today, but it's something that we really instill on our clients. But the quarterly meeting is going to be your entire team. Something like the book Traction or EOS is going to recommend kind of an all day out of the office type of deal for it. I don't believe many of you need to do that. You definitely can. And if you have a pretty robust clinic with, 10, 15, 20 team members, it definitely can be an offsite one day thing, but I want you to do it reasonable. And in our clinic, we do it for 2 hours. I bring in lunch and we prepare for it, and we work through some things I'm going to talk about here now. But first order of business is get your quarterly team meeting schedule. And as you listen to this, You may not have time to do it in March, so maybe early April. You can still get it done in early April. Okay. And so get that on the books. And then in that meeting, from what I use on a lot of times from the EOS information, is you're going to have your positive focus, right? So you want to start out positive and what was good for the previous quarter. Have everybody go around and do that. So you'll roll in from the positive focus. And I think the next category you would do is an issues list. Okay. So an issues list, this is going to be big and small, big and small. And you just go into your meeting with issues that you have. We want to make sure we tackle those. Okay. It could be as small as the computer password needs to be updated, to the floors need to be cleaned, to billing is we got a billing issue, right? A big one. So it could be small to big, but we don't want to dust those under the rug. We want to get those out in the open. And so you're going to tackle some issues. And, again, they talk about that in the book Traction, how to identify and solve those, right? Identify, define, and solve, I believe it is, and have a strategy for that. But some of those big issues lists aren't going to be solved that meeting. That's where you're going to carry over to your weekly meeting. So, like when I have a weekly meeting on Mondays, I'm looking at my quarterly or my yearly planner that we did, and I'm using that to develop some of my weekly team meetings to get the ball moving forward. Okay. Get the ball moving forward. And so you'll write out the issues. The next thing that I would recommend you do is your quarterly rocks. Okay. So quarterly rocks, again, that's an attraction thing. Some of the bigger ticket items for the quarter. I wouldn't have more than 3 to 5. It's going to be things like, new website, new EHR. That might be a half a year rock, but you get the point. It could be, we're going to start a full community outreach strategy. It could be, we're going to hire a CA. These are the bigger ticket items. There's going to be multiple layers to getting this accomplished. It's a project. Okay, it's a project that you're going to do. You're going to add a new service, right? So there's a lot of things that would be a quarterly rock. 3 to 5 of those that you're going to work together as a team during that quarter to make that happen. Okay, so that'd be your quarterly rocks. Let's take a short break from today's episode to tell you about the best decision I've made in my clinic in the last 10 years, and that has been adding shockwave therapy to our clinic. The outcomes have been really impressive. Certain conditions we were struggling with in the past, we're now seeing results with the shockwave therapy for that. And second of all, the ROI has been really good. When you make a big investment in something, you want to see a return, and we're seeing that return in clinical outcomes and in our investment, and that's been really nice to see. I chose Keenest Medical for 4 reasons. One is the technology is top notch. You have to have great technology. There's a lot out there that isn't quite up to snuff. The second thing is they have a really good clinical training. They have an exclusive partnership with Academy of Shockwave Excellence so that you can become clinically proficient in shockwave. You do need to get skilled at it. I think that's a big differentiator between practices that are getting great results and seeing the ROI is they have a great clinical aspect to that as well. So you want to get trained appropriately. Third is they have in-house service team for all of your technical support, which is key when you're investing in a machine like this. And then lastly, they have a very in-depth marketing and business support for you so that you can launch this into your practice effectively, that you can get that ROI on it, that you can get the clinical outcomes. And they also have really good financing options if you need that. So go to keenestmedical.com, KINAS medical.com, mention MCM podcast and receive a free shockwave in practice book with a purchase of a unit. So that's keenestmedical.com, KINAS medical.com, and mention MCM podcast. The next thing you're going to do is an indicator scorecard. Some kind of, we use this on the digital dashboard, but it's going to be your leading and trailing indicators. You're going to set your trailing indicators. This is going to be things like new patient goals for the quarter. One thing we've teased out now since we had our mastermind with the Great Game of Business was we've set a yearly critical number, which is one thing. And in our clinic, it is new patients. It's not that for all practices. Trust me, there's about 8 different things that could be a critical number, and that's something that we've been working with our clients on. But you'd want to really get clear on what your critical number is. That's going to be one of the trailing indicators, but that'd be the critical one. So maybe it is new patients. So you want to set a goal for that. And we work with our clients on setting those goals. Office visits per month would be a trailing indicator. Revenue would be a trailing indicator. Maybe it's new shockwave patients as a trailing indicator. Google reviews for the quarter, maybe a month. You want to get 10 a month. That's a trailing indicator. Maybe you want to get 5 new motor vehicle accident patients in a month. You want to set these trailing indicators. You want to push it a little bit, right? You want to, strategically set those trailing indicators. Then you got to set the leading indicators to get there, right? So if you want to get 10 new Google reviews per quarter, or say per month, sorry, then you need to have a leading indicator that's going to get there. You need to ask, maybe your leading indicator is ask every satisfied patient to leave a Google review, right? That'd be an example. Or if you want a trailing indicator of 3 new MD patients per month, then you better have a leading indicator of meeting with MDs and doing some stuff to get there. It's not going to happen, right? So the leading indicator is what helps the trailing indicator actually happen. Most people just set a goal and it becomes kind of a dream because you're not doing anything to actually get there. So when you set your trailing indicator, you need to then double down on the leading indicators to get there. And so that's the indicator scorecard. That's we do a whole call on that with our clients during quarterly team meeting to get really clear on it. And that's important. And in that meeting, you got to go over marketing. What are you going to do marketing for the quarter? What kind of events you going to do? What kind of initiatives you got going on? Are you going to create videos? Are you going to increase ad spend? What are we doing on a marketing standpoint? Like I really want a quarterly marketing plan for your practice to help you grow. And so that's a well-rounded quarterly team meeting. There's obviously a lot more to it. And, I wanted to just kind of get you thinking about it. A great resource is definitely the book Traction. We do this for our clients often. Every quarter we're planning, every year we're planning. And it's something that really, really has helped many chiropractors do that. So don't just let your practice aimlessly wave up, kind of go about and no direction. A lot of you do have a vision. You just haven't clearly stated what it is. And then you haven't really teased out how to get there. People don't just haphazardly do it. There are people that are just naturally wired to be in constant action. Like they throw a lot of shit on the wall and enough of it works to grow. And that's awesome. It's not everybody, but there's not enough people doing it strategically. Or sometimes they'll throw things on the wall and it doesn't work. And then they just say, practice growth or marketing doesn't work, but there wasn't any strategy around it. And so you got to have a strategy. You got to have meetings, and you also have to have trainings, which is a whole other call. But I want you to schedule your quarterly team meeting. I gave you the framework, I gave you some resources, get it on the books, and then work through what your quarterly team meeting is going to look like. Make it happen, serve some good lunch, and make this a routine in your practice. If you need help, we are always here to help you. You can always check us out, modernchiropracticmarketing.com. We love helping chiropractors out with their planning, their meetings, and their trainings. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And if you want to make the shift from busy, broke, and broken to time-free and cash confident, or you just want to continue with the exponential growth, check us out at modernchiropracticmarketing.com. Look at the MCM Mastery tab, watch the short video on there, and check out what we are doing now for evidence-informed chiropractors. We are equal parts coaching and marketing done for you. Yes, you shoot some videos, we help you with campaign strategies and ideas and really become a thought leader in your community. You shoot those videos, you send them to us, we produce, edit, and brand them to you. Then we distribute them through all of your channels. We also take them and we turn it into one good blog per month. And every other month, we have Darcy Sullivan producing a robust blog with a topic that you pick from her database to help with your SEO. So we essentially become your content marketing agency to make sure your practice is always having ethical, elegant content marketing to help grow your practice. On the coaching side, we also help you with everything from marketing ideas to business, communications, finances, anything practice growth, and really try to help prevent you from being stuck on that island. And we hold you accountable. We have a great group of doctors that are just doing amazing things, and we look forward to help you out to take that next step in your practice. So again, check us out at modernchiropracticmarketing.com and learn more.